I wanted to talk about my experience with the Voyageur carry-on and check-in by Level 8, what I liked, what I didn't, and how Level 8's useful design improvements separate these suitcases from other hard shells. I'll start with the Voyageur carry-on, which carries 43 liters and exists in the same space as Away and Monos. I have my Monos here that'll just help me explain some of the differences. Starting with the top, we have my favorite part of the case, the wide handle. It's the first time seeing and using a wide handle, and I'm definitely a fan. The biggest advantage is just a better rolling experience, and let me explain. These type of suitcases are made to roll sideways, and the Voyageur's wide handle made it tip over less than my Monos. That's because I have leverage to push from behind the case instead of towards the center. On a smooth airport floor, both designs work flawlessly. It really doesn't matter, but outside the airport is when I notice the difference. Any imperfect floor, like a street or sidewalk, will slow down the wheels enough to when I hit a crack, it could tip the case. I couldn't really stop that from happening in the Monos because of the narrower handle, but on the Voyageur I could push from the wide handle's corners to speed up over the cracks and prevent tipping. It's the difference between pushing from a corner versus pushing from the middle. The wide handle also allowed a two-handed grip if I needed to lift the heavy case over a curb or something. It has 4 height positions that vary the handle height about 6 inches, and overall, the wide handle was great to use. But it has one major limitation. This wide handle can't fit luggage pass-throughs on any bags, and I completely understand if that's a deal breaker for some of you. The workaround I used is that the wide handle made it easier to use backpack straps to secure the bag, but I admit it doesn't work as well as a proper luggage pass-through. If Level 8 figures out how to solve this problem while keeping the wide handle, that'll be amazing. Still, despite this limitation, the wide handle's advantage when it came to rolling the case was still worth it for me. I took my Monos to Japan for 2 weeks where we walked on a lot of sidewalks, and I can't overstate how annoying it was to have the Monos suitcase keep tipping over when I hit a crack. Level 8's onto something with the wide handle, and there's actually still another advantage that I'll show you later in the video. Continuing with the top, there's a rubber grab handle and a TSA lock. There's a grab handle on the sides as well, and you'll see these little bumpers on the bottom and on the side. Similar to the wide handle, the Voyageur series opts for a more practical design, and I don't know why these bumpers are missing from the Monos and Away bags. I assume it's because the bumpers make the case less aesthetically clean, but over time, I think that's made up because the bumpers help prevent the shell from being scratched, since the shell never touches the floor. And on the bottom, we have the wheels, which do the job and they roll smooth enough. You need smooth wheels because this type of suitcase, again, is meant to go sideways, and slow wheels are more difficult to push from the side compared to other suitcases that you pull from behind. And lastly, the outer shell is made from Macrolon polycarbonate. I'm not a materials expert, but this seems pretty similar to other materials I've used. It has some flex, which actually makes it more durable and resistant to cracking. And like any hard shell, expect it to get some marks and scratched over time, which you can clean if you want to. But I mean, it's luggage, so it's meant to take a beating. Opening up the bag gives access to the full 43 liters. The left side has a waterproof section for toiletries and a small mesh zip pocket, while the right side has just another large zipper. All suitcases do organization a little different, and that's personal preference, but I like that both sides of the Voyageur had a zipper, because it allowed me to open the case when it was upright since my things won't fall out. And I wanted to focus on the right side a little more because it has the second advantage of that wide handle. The handle tracks are on the side instead of the middle, which makes packing a little easier. What you don't want to do is pack like this and not use the space below the rails. And after traveling with this Voyageur for a bit, the larger space just gave me more flexibility in items I can use to fill that space. Okay, so that's the Voyageur carry-on, and I quickly wanted to cover the 93 liter check-in since it's just a bigger version of the carry-on, but there are some differences. The check-in is designed to fit the carry-on inside for easy storage, which is always convenient. The outer shell on the big one is textured versus smooth on the carry-on, and I think the textured version might just be harder to clean. The main handle has only 2 height positions because the case is already so tall, and there's a third grab handle on the side, and the TSA lock is moved to the side. The case has a 60-40 opening split similar to a trunk-style suitcase, And opening up the pack, we see a similar format, except the right side has a collapsible shelf divider, which organizes the clothes a little bit when the suitcase is opened standing up. Otherwise, my experience with the check-in was pretty much the same as the carry-on. And lastly, I think it's important to talk price because, let's face it, that's the #1 determination for a bag purchase. So here's the price breakdown compared to the other popular brands. Level 8 is less expensive, and I'm sure part of the reason for that is far less color options compared to the other two. Overall, the Level 8 Voyageur series was a blast to use, and it represents the goal of this channel, to provide people with options beyond the popular brands, so ultimately they can get the perfect gear for them, or at least save some money. The design improvements are headlined by that wide handle, which took out some of the hassle I experienced in other bags, and overall, I'd recommend it to anybody. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, comment below if you want a response, and subscribe for more everyday gear reviews. Thanks!